What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we've got something really cool for you. Why? Because this has to do with the Pixel folding phone. And the reason I found out about this is because I subscribe or signed up or have the app set up, whatever you want to call it, the Google Opinion Rewards app. This is an app that you should definitely have. If you have an Android phone, get this app. It basically gives you credits into the Google Play Store just by filling out surveys, and basically be like, oh, why did you go to the grocery store? Do you have the receipt? Stupid stuff like that. It's really easy to answer the questions. You get credits, and you end up getting, you can use that money towards movies or books or apps or music or whatever you want in there. So it's very cool. So sign up for the app for sure. But beyond that, you also get questionnaires sometimes. And so I got this questionnaire, and it had all to do with folding phones. But it seems like, because Google runs this, it seems like Google's asking this more for the future of their folding phones. And I don't know, I just wanted to go through this and show you guys and talk about it with you. So the first question that I got said, a foldable smartphone has a flexible screen that can be horizontally folding like a booklet or vertically folding like a clamshell. And they show off a folding phone that looks a lot like a Galaxy Z Fold phone. They show a clamshell phone that looks a lot like a Z Flip phone. And then they show a phone that looks like an iPhone, and they say, hey, which one do you like? And are you planning to buy one of these in the next 12 months? So to me, it goes into the fact that Pixel might be coming out with two folding phones. One, a clamshell just like the Flip, and a regular folding phone. And we've heard more so about the folding phone. So maybe that will be the only one that comes out, but still, it makes me think they're at least entertaining the idea of coming out with a folding phone, a flipping phone, just like the Z Flip phone. The next question said, what factors influence your decision whether you want a foldable phone? Brand, everyday relevance, promotional offers, better tech specs, a big event or a holiday, the experience. And ultimately, that's important. Most people sometimes, only buy it because of the brand. Maybe they only trust Apple, or they only trust Samsung. That could be a reason. Or their everyday relevance. How important is this going to be in your life? I think that's a big important thing. You've got promotional offers, which Samsung does an amazing job at that. You buy a Samsung phone, you're like, here, take these headphones and this case and this charger and all kinds of crazy stuff. Samsung generally has better specs or has more features, or these Chinese phones have better specs and features. Big events or holidays, I guess it's somewhat important, but I don't think it's more important than the greater pure part of it. And then the experience, definitely how it feels when you use it. Is it, fixing something? Is it adding to your life? Is it an awesome experience? And I think that's very important. So hopefully the Pixel Fold will make a big jump at that. The third question was pretty interesting in that they said, what might trigger you to shop for a booklet foldable smartphone? Because that's the one I said that was most important to me, this big, foldable like experience, this one rather than the Flip. And basically you had a tri-fold by all angle hovering, that frees, the tripod that angle, all angling, hovering that frees hands. That's not that important to me. That's like when you have a flip phone and you can or you could do it with this one too. And you flip it up like that and you can take a photo. Again, that's not super important to me. Bigger screen for immersive games and movies, definitely a huge reason why I get the Fold phone is because of this huge display. Multi-window for business efficiency. Yes, it's an awesome feature to have, to be able to run multiple windows on this huge display. Great cameras. I love having much better cameras on the Fold 4. And I feel like the Pixel will definitely take that, at least in the photo category, maybe even in the next level as well with people photos or people in a photo. You've got the tablet smartphone experience. It's a phone, and then you open it up and it's a tablet totally. Preview on cover screen when selfie for me, yes. So basically, I'm taking a photo and it shows the person right here, what I'm seeing, so that when you do take a photo, it's much easier to see on the back of these cameras. I didn't show every single question because some of them didn't seem that interesting, but number 5 still feels interesting. What might discourage you from purchasing a foldable phone? And I think a lot of it has to do with, one, the thickness and the weight of getting a foldable phone. So hopefully when Pixel comes out with their folding phone, it is maybe a little bit lighter, and the weight isn't as much. To me, I can deal with it, but obviously it's going to be a better experience if it's lighter and thinner. The battery concerns could be an issue. The battery on the Fold 4 has been pretty good. Hasn't been amazing for me. I know it's been amazing for others, but for the other half, it hasn't been. So I think that would be a big thing, to have better battery life. Obviously, app compatibility, that can be an issue. For instance, when I'm using Amazon even, and I know I can go through the settings and make it full screen, but ultimately, it doesn't fill up my whole screen. And neither does, and again, I know I can fix this, don't get me wrong, or it basically crops it in. You can also, do this. You have Instagram, and it shows even less of the screen. So app compatibility is a huge thing with folding phones, and I hope that Pixel can finally get this to be a perfect fix in there. I don't think brand power is pretty important, but probably not completely important, especially if a great phone comes out. Number 6, how can a foldable smartphone manufacturer address your concerns? I thought this was a good question to ask. The reason being is because all of these are kind of important. Folding phones are very expensive, so to try first and pay later, I think that's, especially if you're new to the folding market like Google would be, that's totally important. A great trade-in program. Samsung has an amazing trade-in program. You can take, I think it was the Fold 2 even, you get $1,000 at one point for the Fold 4. That was super great. Consumer forum, not so much, because you have Reddit and you have all these other places where you can ultimately get support from like-minded folks. Return change policy, that's not a bad one. I mean, I definitely want a great return policy, and to be able to change it into something different, maybe a different color or something, and have no issues with that would be fantastic. Online tech service, yeah, I like that. I like having that, being able to chat with someone if I have an issue rather than have to call up. Offline tech service is also important as well, to be able to call and actually hear someone's voice. Number 7 is a manufacturer that can make foldable phones more technologically advanced and innovative. Definitely. Think how many people make folding phones a year or two ago. It was really only Samsung. Now we're getting more and more Chinese manufacturers. You're getting other manufacturers as well starting to get into the pipeline. So yeah, I think it's still companies that do make these phones are definitely a little bit, I feel like, a little bit more technologically advanced. Offer advanced specs? Not so much, because the folding phones generally haven't had the highest of specs. It's still been the the regular candy bar phones that have that. Humanistic, I don't know, probably not. They don't really give me a human touch, I don't feel like. Trustworthy, I go into that, I'd say no, because of the fact that folding phones are still kind of fragile. Has good quality products. Yeah, I think that a manufacturer that comes out with a folding phone, I would consider them having good quality products. Meaning they generally make a good product. The folding phone might be a little bit fragile, but I still think they make good products in general overall. Premium, high-end, definitely, because folding phones are some of the most expensive phones, if not the most expensive phones that you can get. And that was all the questions that I thought were relevant to this whole survey. And I want to throw it back to you. Do you think that Pixel's actually going to come out with this phone? There's rumors that it's going to come out in March or April of 2023, which is just around the corner, and it's extremely exciting. I cannot wait for Pixel to come out with a phone. I just have so many high hopes for it, and I hope they really knock it out of the park. And then, eventually Apple's going to come out with one, and Apple, I just feel like, is going to destroy the industry. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, they're going to hurt Android a lot, especially if they have multi-window, especially if they have a device that's very reliable in that if you do drop it, it won't break. It won't, not that these always break too when you drop them if you put them in a case, but I just feel like Apple's really going to put this stuff out when it's super reliable in every sense of that word. And Apple also bring a level of premiumness to it that maybe Samsung isn't fully doing with their folding phones. So it's going to be a crazy time. So let me know your thoughts on folding phones from Apple and Pixel and the like. Have a great day, and we'll see you down there.